grade 1, which means we have to be there within 10 minutes.
There's been a disturbance on a Brighton housing estate. Colin Richardson and Michelle Innes respond to the call.
I've been on a pursuit training course, Safe Follow, and it builds your confidence more with travelling at speed. And I would probably say I'm slightly faster than Colin, but we're both just as confident drivers as each other. Just maybe just a little bit faster.
People look and I'd stop here.
I like working on the response section. I like being on patrol as a uniformed officer, and that's something I've chosen to do. I worked for Lloyds Bank. The people were great, but the work itself, same thing day in, day out, 9 to 5. It wasn't really me, sitting behind a desk. And I looked into the police force and I thought, well, I can give it a go. If I don't like it, it's not like the Army or the Navy. I can leave. I'm not signed up for so many years and have got to do so much service. If I don't like the job, I can leave. So I gave it a go and I liked it and I'm still here. I intend to stay.
What's actually happened?
Phoned the police. We come up here, we've been out for a drink, and we come back and that, and they started on Matt's car. The blokes were waiting over there. They were just having a go at us when we come up there, and he dropped us off.
Has anyone actually been injured?
Yeah, my friend. Hazel,
can I just have a quick word?
Yeah,
right.
she's got scratches.
Do you want to tell me roughly what's happened? Because I mean, you've been injured there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And no reason for it, totally unprovoked?
No.
Right, OK.
There's a reason, I'd understand it, but
right, if we manage to catch up with these people, are you prepared to support us with any prosecution?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The job and what I knew about the job appealed to me. I mean, I was only 18 when I first applied. I wasn't that worldly wise. The thought of catching burglars and being able to convict people of committing serious offences, that was what appeals to an 18-year-old. But obviously, your opinion does change. I mean, obviously, I'm 5 years older now, and my attitude has changed. I enjoy the job. I get a good deal of satisfaction when I've helped them, whether it be saving someone's life at an accident or arresting someone who's threatened me with a knife. It's a job you want to do because you want to get out there and serve the community. It's something you've got to want to do from the heart, really. Any joy?
I've got one male out there who this male's identified, but I like the description.
Colin Richardson has detained a man near the scene.
Can you give us a bit of description of the shirt?
Which one, the blonde hair?
The blonde haired one.
He had a check shirt on, I think it was red and black, I couldn't see really in the dark.
Because there's an allegation of an assault, right, and you've been identified as a possible suspect, I'm now arresting you on suspicion of actual bodily harm. You don't have to say anything, unless you should do so, but what you say may be given evidence.
And where did this happen? Where exactly did it happen?
Outside.
Just outside the doors here?
Okay.
Right, we'll sort out back at the police station, right? I know who he is.
No, I want him arrested now.
No,
we can't arrest two people at the same time, all right? We'll do it one at a time.
No, of course you can't.
When you get back to the police station, you can make your allegations then, can't you?
Yeah, I will. Don't worry about that, mate.
All right, if you just get in the car for the time being.
People only call the police if there's something wrong. People don't call us to tell us everything's okay. It's the sort of job you've got to want to do. You've got to want to get out in the community and try and solve some of the problems. And that probably sounds very much a cliche, but that is the bottom line. You've got to want to be able to help people. You've also got to want to be part of a team, because you are very much a team. You know, each section works as a team, and you have to resolve the incidents.
No, I'll take our car back. Right there.
The young man who was arrested was not charged. A woman, though, was cautioned for the offence.
Okay, right, see you back there.
I'm quite capable of looking after myself. You know, yes, I do go into some situations where I get concerned. Not for the fact I'm a woman. I mean, a woman can be just as good at this job as a bloke. And as myself and Colin are very happy crewed up with each other. Here we go. I said I'd make one for Steve.
I've got enough cups. They do exactly the same job as me. I mean, it's the same. Michelle deals with jobs to the same standard as what I deal with jobs. You do get ribbon at WPCs, like you'll say, put the kettle on, you know, or something like that. But most of them will tell us to go and do it ourselves in no uncertain terms, really. I know Michelle certainly does.
Oh, no.
Everybody's going to drink it black for the first.
there they are, look.
Sue Elliott is another of the 3 women officers on A section. She's been called with Simon Alexander to deal with some drunks causing trouble at a local off-licence.
Bravo 6 and I5.
Bravo 6.
No, they've been the usual proverbial pains in the arse, basically.
Causing any problems as far as you're...
He walked out the door and said to his mate, we're going to come back and smash the place up.
Which one's that, with the cap on?
The tall one with the beard and the scarf around his head.
I've always wanted to be a police officer ever since I was about 5 or 6. It is a man's world, without a doubt. But there's more women being employed now. I mean, I've always been accepted as one of them, and they've helped me, I've helped them. Go and have words, and they know they're banned, do they? All right, I'll go and have a word. There are things that WPCs have to do, like searching females that men can't do. Contrary to everyone's belief, everyone thinks that WPCs are brilliant for children. Consequently, the baby always gets shoved at the WPC. That doesn't bother me, but it does some. You know, sometimes blokes are better equipped to deal with it. They've got children of their own, they know how to deal with it. But
Yeah, we're
go on then.
I'm
going to move off with you.
Fight now.
I'm going to take your cam with you. That particular area, your place, we do get quite a few problems with the beggars and that. It's just that they've got nowhere else to go and they all congregate down there. I mean, they're not violent, that lot aren't violent. They like a good laugh. There are regulars, some of those. Problem occurs when you've got one that's completely out of his tree and you try and help them and they just don't, their friends don't like you to interfere, but sometimes you just have to.
A group of youths have tried to break into a car near the town centre. Michelle Innes's patrol car has been sent to the area to search for the offenders.
Apparently they were chased up here towards the railway station. We're just having a quick run round, then we'll go back down. We got no descriptions though.
I've got registration number of the white Chevette. The RO code comes from the causeway, right.
Charlie Bravo 3. Charlie Bravo 3. Charlie Bravo 3, we've taken a run up towards the station. No one's made themselves known to us. We're going to go back to Argyle Road and liaise with the informant and sort out the details down there,
I saw them smash the window, I don't know what it was with. And then they went just strolling up here. My husband ran after them, and they went in an house up there somewhere. Well, there was about 4 people around there, and none of them would tell us where they went. They said, no, we never saw no one.
So you've got any idea who these people are?
No, I've seen them out and down the street before.
Right.
I actually saw them this time.
So it's not for any vengeance reason then?
Oh, no, they just do it for the fun of it, because they broke the window, looked in, and we started banging and shouting from the window, and they just started walking up the hill. And my husband come out the door and started running after them, and they disappeared.
What sort of where's your husband at the moment?
He's around there looking for them.
Right, he's the one who chased off after them, yeah?
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with the offence, but I can smell a lot of alcohol in there. Appreciate you've been driving. Was it you that's drinking?
No, I don't drink.
No, right, OK. Has your husband been drinking?
No, he ain't been in the car all day.
So where's all the alcohol come
That's
from?
probably them.
What, this lot?
Yeah, I mean, I was just sorting up the road with bottles and everything.
So they would have been in a drunken state then?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I looked at it because they didn't run. They just sort of like that.
Is everything else in this car yours?
As far as I know.
Have a look, see what in there is yours, oh sorry, and what's not. See if they've thrown anything in there.
Charlie Bravo 06.
Oh, that bottle ain't mine.
The bottle isn't?
Oh.
Right, okay. Right,
That's what they've thrown in probably to smash the window.
More than likely.
Yeah, because he was swinging something.
Were they wearing gloves, any of them?
I don't think so. Yeah, can you get some police or something on that bottle?
Well, what we can do is, yeah, we'll take that away and we'll put that into our scenes of crime office and see if we can get anything off that. All right. How old would you say the first one was, the first one that you've described to me?
About 25.
About 25, OK. Picture the second one and do the same again. We've got him at height.
He had long dark hair. He's about 5'9", coming on 6 foot.
If you saw photos of them, would you recognise them again, you think?
I'd recognise one, but I wouldn't recognise the other
But you'd
two.
recognise one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't describe him, but I know him if I saw him, sort of thing.
Would you be in a position to come back to the police station with him now? I can bring you back, that's not a problem. And we'll have a look at some photos, because obviously if we can pick them up earlier on, it makes life a bit easier. Would you be happy to do that?
Yeah.
I'll drop you back when we've finished. Yeah, we'll get a quick statement. Shine your light in here for us a minute.
At the end of the day, all we can do is arrest the people, charge them and put them before a court. What happens at court and afterwards, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't have any control over that. Unfortunately, the system isn't totally right. I've actually arrested the same youth 3 times, and he was bailed on all 3 occasions back to a bail hostel from the court. For the same offence, he was arrested on 3 occasions. It might only be a minor offence in the eyes of the court, but to it was stealing from motor vehicles. But to the persons whose motor vehicle that was, I mean, how can you explain to the owner of that vehicle, well, he has actually been remanded to a bail hostel because the courts wouldn't remand him in custody? That's no consolation to the person who's had their stereo taken and £100 worth of damage done to their car. You know, they are the only loser, and there's no way of explaining it to that person.
What time was this?
It was about 20 minutes ago.
So we're talking dark.
Yeah.
How?
Although the street lighting right by the car is very good.
How near were they to the offenders?
About 20 yards away. The only thing is that they have seen them around the area before. They don't know where they live or who they are, but she does recognise him, one of them, that she's seen around the area before, so if she sees a photo, she'd be able to identify him.
Well, she doesn't know him?
She doesn't know him, no, but she has seen him there before and believes that he does live in that area,
right,
but doesn't know who he is or where he lives, but if she saw a photo of him, she'd be able to say that's him.
Hello there.
Yeah.
The individuals you saw just now committing that offence, their photographs may or may not be in those albums. It's not a case of it is and you have to spend hours looking for them. If you see anybody you recognise, and you're fairly happy it's that individual, then if you tell WPC Initiative, she'll take a statement to that effect from you.
Right. These are the sort of 23 to 27-year-olds. So if you have a look through there and see what we get. Okay. As I said in the car on the way back, the photos might be old as well, so try and forget about hairstyles. Picture the facial feature, and hopefully it won't have changed too much.
The woman couldn't find the culprits on the police photograph files. No one has been arrested. Michelle Innes and Pete Cook have been called to the Moulscombe estate. A house has been vandalised. The entire kitchen has been stolen.
Look at that door. That is an oak door. Chubb security lock, 3 brass hinges.
Yeah, actually, can we have that inside, Pete?
That's the bathroom there.
Just in case, because that metal tin there that he's mixed the stuff up in, we may get prints off that.
He's actually mixed this up and thrown it on the wall, thrown it in the kitchen. He's turned the lights off, he's turned the water off so he can tear the kitchen up. He's smashed the light fittings down. You know, he's taken everything. I can't find anything that was, anything of any stringent value is gone.
There is no word to describe it. I mean, it's just total destruction. And at the end of the day, the only person that's losing out is the poor woman who owns it. You know, and she's trying to do people a favour by doing it up and letting it out to people who need a home. And then something like this happens, you know. And unfortunately, because of the area it's in, no one's going to come forward to give them any information because they'll be frightened of the people who've done this coming back and doing it to their houses.
In the town centre, Jeff Cooper and Andy Duke face a different problem. They've stopped a car because the passenger has shouted at them out of his car window.
What's the matter? Hey! Why are you pissing me about? Why are you pissing me about, man? You're bad news.
I'm not pissing you about.
Why are you...
Everyone is pissing about. Now, what's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Don't shout out the window at spitting in your face.
I never spat at anybody. I never spat at anybody.
The electricity is off. Well, look, what he's done. I'll tell you why I know this has got to be done with revenge call. Whoever knew took the socket out, we took all the, they've got fingerprints on obviously, because he pulled them out individually one by one. And that takes a hell of a lot of breaking.
Why do that?
Yeah, get somebody up to us. We're in Montpellier Junction, Temple Gardens, so we got one in custody. Cuffs behind my back!
Sorry, but I've paid my tax.
I've got handcuffs behind my back.
This is like an absolute planned disaster area. It's done maximum damage to every room.
We're looking at £1,500 worth of damage in the kitchen alone, and then about another 2,000 have stolen.
Yeah.
Then in the lounge we're looking at £300 worth of damage. Yeah. The hallway £1,000 worth of damage, and I mean I gave up then. I mean
5,000?
Well, more than that, probably 10,000.
Oh, that's your job, because I mean, around here, no one sees nothing, no one hears nothing.
What we're going to have to do is
disgusting, really.
Tread carefully on this one, because
it's slur on England, isn't it, really? This is a lady from France.
Yeah.
What's she going to think of our country? Lovely, isn't it?
She's not English, then. She's a French lady.
She loves me to death for some reason. She trusts me, and I just feel now that I've betrayed her, because the last thing she said to me, "I'll leave my house in your hands, and I know it's in good hands, and I know my house will be safe." Bosh.
Here we are.
1 week after she's gone home, I'm standing here talking to you people about how that's been destroyed.
And we're just going to have to start from scratch, get a Socko and photograph it, do a basic crime report, and burglary, you're just going to have to take it on board.
Police have been unable to gather sufficient evidence to charge anyone for damaging the house and stealing the kitchen.
What? You're going to make it worse, right? Well, leave me alone because I'm burning down!
No, put the pressure on. Tell me, stop putting the pressure on.
Don't agree that everybody is equal. Men and women are equal. We've all got things that we can do better. Men are generally bigger and stronger, and women are generally smaller and weaker, but that's not something that should be a disadvantage, should be an advantage. It's difficult in an environment that has been totally male-dominated, and that's not just the police force. Things are changing, and people are realising that women have a role in the police service. It is silly to try and put 18 5-foot WPCs that none of them weighs more than 7 stone on a riot control unit. Equally, there are other roles for which the 7-foot police officer with size 15 feet is going to be totally out of place. For instance, in dealing with sensitive matters such as rape, or matters where not just traditionally women are more competent, they are definitely proved to be more competent. So what I'm saying is that women can do a lot of jobs, and so can men. And there's a big common ground, but it has to be realised that some jobs can't always be done by either men or women.
You're right. It's all right.
The man was eventually bound over to keep the peace. The woman wasn't charged with any offence. Michelle Innes and Colin Richardson respond to an emergency call for help from another Charlie Bravo crew involved in a fight in the centre of Brighton.
Right, we've got to get this one to the hospital. Right. So let's get him in the van.
Are you going to get up quietly now?
Calm down. Cuffs on me, all right? Right. Right, now listen.
There is an increase in violence, but to be quite honest, I don't really think about it. It's not until afterwards that you actually sit there and think, what could have happened? Could I have ended up in a hospital? You just get on and do it. It's your job. It's sort of bred into you. You get on and you deal with it. Someone's got to deal with it, and that's what we're paid for. That's our job. We deal with it.
You're going to stand up now.
Swing your legs to the side. Swing your legs up to the side.
Just a casualty. Yeah. This has got a lot of blood. Just hand injuries. Well, can we get an ambulance when we go in our van with us? No, they said he won't bleed to death from it. He's good because Obviously, you'll have to go to the hospital. You're right. Is that tie off? You have to go straight to the hospital. Have we got sufficient there to stop the bleeding? Has he been treated at all?
No, I'm going to try to clean the wound up.
I'll need your name anyway for a statement.
Listen. Yeah.
What's wrong? They know where to go. It's on like they know where to go. Right in here.
Three men now face charges in connection with this incident. But a few days earlier, Michelle Innes herself had to call for assistance. She and her partner were trying to arrest two men who'd attacked a passerby with a knife.
At one point, we were literally rolling around in the road, and the youth concerned was sitting on top of me, holding onto my arms. I mean, I am quite powerful, and I managed to overpower him and actually roll over so that I was on top of him. Once I was on top of him, I had the advantage, and I was able to turn him over and put him into a hold, put him into an arm lock, which enabled me to get the handcuffs on.
Facing up to violent confrontations is part of the routine of policing. Even so, for Michelle Innes, as for all police officers, some incidents can be particularly distressing.
On arrival at the address, we immediately became aware of the smell of decomposition, possibly a dead body. And in the flat was a body that had been hanging for about 3 weeks, and it was in a terrible state. Yeah, I was very upset. I cried myself to sleep that night. And the following day, when I came into work, I was okay. I thought I was dealing with it fine. And when the incident was actually brought up by one of the sergeants who was going to talk to me about it, I just burst into tears again because I hadn't been able to cope with what I dealt with. I think the thing that hurt was the fact that he was only 19 and no one had bothered to see that he was all right or was worried about him.
All right, matey. Wakey, wakey. Out we get, rise and shine. That's a good position to be falling asleep in, isn't it? Come on, let me get.
Only live for the corner. Just leave me and I'll go home.
Well, go on then. Let's see you go.
No, in a minute.
No, now.
No.
Now.
No, now.
No.
Come on, you're sleeping
can't.
across someone's car. Let's help you on your feet. Come on.
When I take this uniform off, I am a member of public. You know, I'm the same as everyone else out there. I might still have my warrant card, I might still have my authority under the Crown, but I'm a member of public.
No.
Once I actually finish a shift, I go away from here, and the people I have around me are nothing to do with the police.
Well, you've got two choices. You either walk away or you get in the back of the police car and come down the neck. The choice is yours. That's it. Right, now one foot in front of the other.
Dog handling, that's what I want to do.
Go on then.
I am an animal lover. I've got 2 dogs of my own, 2 Labradors.
My arm.
There's so many uses for dog handlers, and it's something that appeals to me. It's not just catching, you know, someone who's running off from a scene. I mean, the dogs are so versatile. You can find missing children, you know, stolen property from property searches, the inevitable tracking offenders and catching them.
Sean.
It's what I wanted to do from the moment I joined, and it's what I still want to do now.
Where's home?
I know where my home is.
Go there then.
I will. Don't
Now.
push me.
Well, come on then. No.
Okay.
The trouble is, you don't want to arrest him. He's not harmless, isn't he? But it's just getting it out of him where he lives to get him home. Because you can't leave him out here. I mean, he's fallen asleep across the bonnet of a car. You know, the only thing to do is try and find out where they live and get them home. I mean, it took the threat of an arrest to do that, but he got him home, he's put his keys in the door, he's now flaked out on his sofa, so at least he's safe inside.